Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Angie. Sorry my voice is feeling a little scratchy. That's okay. That should go away at some point. Anyway, today we are going to be reading, specifically we're going to be reading one book, start to finish. I want to finish an entire book today, read it in one sitting or as close to one sitting as possible. I technically tried this like in the fall. And I filmed it and I did do it. It took me forever. I read Given Our History, which might not be a book that you've heard about. It was a cute little rom-com set at a university. It was cute. But yeah, it was definitely tough reading it in one go. Just because like I am not someone that reads like that right now. At one point I was such a binge reader, not anymore, but today we're going to be binge reading. And the book that I'm going to binge read today, or just the book I'm going to read today, is Into the Blue by Emma Brody. This book is like everywhere right now and I'm really excited to get to it. I don't really know what it's about. I know that it is a romance. It like spans several years. We'll definitely go over the synopsis at some point. But yeah, I want to read this whole book today. You know, I want to know what people are talking about because people love this book. At least most of the people that I see love this book. They love it and they're crying and they're like obsessed with it. So I don't know. I also want to be obsessed with it. Let's get to the synopsis just like I promised. In the summer of 2000, AJ Graves dreams of writing for Saturday Night Live. Instead, she's stuck working in a video rental store with slim odds of escaping her small Massachusetts town. Then in walks Noah Drew, the enigmatic and intense scion of the Drew acting dynasty, and her life changes forever. Despite wildly different upbringings, the two forge a deep cosmic bond, first as friends, then as acting partners, until one day, man, what's wrong with my voice? Noah disappears without a word. 7 years later in New York City, AJ is shocked to find herself cast in the same intergalactic TV production as Noah, by then a well-known Hollywood heartthrob. As her on-screen characters grow closer every day, the lines between reality and acting begin to blur. Unable to stay away from each other, AJ and Noah are forced to confront the truth of what happened years ago, and the devastating secret that will send their lives careening apart, even as fate continues to draw them together. Blending unforgettable characters, explosive chemistry, and profound yearning, Into the Blue is a journey unlike any other, one that asks, what does it mean to diverge from the script to forge your own story? Okay, let's get into it. Also, I don't know if you saw, but my cat has already chewed this book, so that's really great. This is like the most recent book I bought. I probably bought it like 4 days ago, so yeah, I can't leave anything out. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this today. We are going to go to the park, which I'm so excited for. I want to stay there honestly like as long as possible because it seems like it's just a really, really nice day. Since we moved to Chicago, I haven't done any like outside reading, and I mean, that is a perk of living somewhere where it's not a billion degrees like Houston is. So I definitely want to take advantage of it. So yeah, I'm going to pack my little bag of treats and a little picnic blanket and everything, and we will go ahead and head out and we will read this book today. Just got to the park and it is about 11:45 to give you an idea of the time that we're starting with today. I actually don't even know how many pages are in this book, so let me check really quickly. Okay, there's 430 pages, not including the acknowledgement, so I definitely have my work cut out for me. So let me go ahead and get started reading, and I'll check in maybe in like an hour or two, or maybe when I get to like page 100, whatever comes first. It's much sunnier than I thought it would be, and I didn't bring any like body sunscreen. have sunscreen on my face. But yeah, I'm really just trying to like move around as much as I can so I don't get a sunburn. But other than that, I'm having the time of my life. Being outside, man, more people should know about this. So unfortunately, the thing that came first was like the 2 hours or so. It is now, I shouldn't check, but it's been about 2 hours. I'm 70 pages in, reading very, very slowly, but that's to be expected because that is who I am at the moment. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get up and head back home. But yeah, I'm liking the book so far. I'll talk more about it when we're back inside or something. Okay, so obviously I'm back at home. I've actually been at home for a few hours now, and I have still been reading. I'm now on page 145. So it's not like I've made a ton of progress, but I've made some. Well, no, I mean, I guess I read double of what I had read at the park, so yeah, not bad. I think I'm kind of moving the goalpost. I'm obviously not going to finish this book today, so my new goal is to finish it tomorrow, ideally in the morning, but if I have to, later in the day. So, we'll see what happens. I would say finishing it in generally 24 hours is my goal. But yeah, I'm home. Adam is home now as well. He brought us food, which was really nice of him, and he's here working on a computer thing. I don't know. Like I said at the park, I am definitely enjoying the book so far. I'll kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of what it's about. I know that I read you the synopsis, but still let me give you a little bit of a rundown. Okay, so I'm going to jump in right here to spare you the absolute rambling I'm about to do when I'm explaining the plot of this book, because trust me, you do not want to hear me stumble through this. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, Into the Blue is a story that spans several years, and we're starting in the year 2000. At this point, our main character, AJ Graves, is 17. She's working at a video rental store in her hometown in the Berkshires. For your viewing pleasure, I'm going to insert some pictures from our trip to the Berkshires last fall, because I would honestly be remiss if I did not make this about myself. As mentioned in the synopsis, AJ is an inspiring comedy writer. She specifically wants to work for SNL. She's part of like a really big family, so she kind of uses humor as, a way to cope and also as a way to stand out. So that is naturally where that dream comes from. Our other main character, Noah Drew, starts working at the same video rental store as AJ. AJ is not a fan of Noah, to say the least. They're just very different. Noah is part of this like acting dynasty. His family's literally been in acting for probably over a century or something at this point. He's an only child. Obviously, he's very wealthy, so they don't really have too much they can relate to each other on, honestly. However, one thing that they can relate to each other on is they're both big fans of this show called Astronauticals. It also just so happens that Noah's aunt is one of the actors in this show, because remember, acting dynasty. But yeah, they love Astronauticals. It's kind of like a comedy sketch show that I'm pretty sure is all improv, but through that relation of their love of Astronauticals and various other events and circumstances, they end up in acting classes together. Noah's aunt is the one teaching them acting, because obviously she is an actor, part of an acting family. And through that, they start to get a lot closer, I wouldn't say nothing super explicitly romantic happens, because Noah is 21 and remember AJ is 17, but they are forming this really intimate connection with each other through their acting scenes, because they're scene partners, and this kind of acting training that they're getting really emphasizes that character with your scene partner. It almost feels like they're supposed to get to a point where they're able to read each other's minds and feel each other's emotions, and honestly it does really feel like that's happening when reading this book. I have never acted a day in my life, so I don't know how real this is. I mean, I think it is pretty real. I would believe that it is. Conveniently, that first 70 pages that I read at the park covers this first chunk of time, so the year 2000. We then jump forward 7 years to 2007. Noah is a pretty successful actor at this point, and AJ is working in reality television, and she's also doing work with the Upright Citizens Brigade, which is a very real thing in real life. Amy Poehler is one of the founding members, and Amy Poehler's obviously a real person and a real comedian. Noah and AJ are both cast on a revival in the Astronauticals universe. I believe it's a prequel. AJ ends up getting involved because they're in the middle of a writer's strike, so they need actors that are going to do improv. The whole show is going to be completely improvised. And even though AJ is definitely acting in this whole time, her whole career, she's like really insisted that she is just a writer, even though it's very apparent that she is good at acting, and like Noah tells her that all the time. But yeah, that's basically where I am at this point in the video. They're on the show, AJ's acting, Noah's acting. So let's go ahead and take it back to a very confused past me. It's not so simple as like they've been friends this whole time and now they're filming this show. I would say that like if you had to give it a trope, it would be like friends to lovers to strangers to like a second chance romance, which is actually so funny because there's another book that I'm reading on my Kindle, which is again The Magic by Lisa Kleypas, and it's like the same setup. It's like friends to lovers, he breaks her heart, and then like several years later they reunite, and there's obviously going to be some sort of second chance. That is just a coincidence that happened, but it definitely was like a little confusing for me because I'm like, why am I like kind of reading the same book? Not that they're obviously very different. Again, The Magic is like a historical romance. It's a very different setting, but similar setup, I guess. I'm like that far into it, so I still have a ton left to go, but I am having a good time. I would say that I'm not like blown away by anything yet, but I think there's still a lot of emotions that are going to be kind of dealt with. Noah and AJ have a lot of similarities in terms of their like familial life, and I think that will be brought up. I think I've heard that like this book deals with grief. I know where that will come from, but that hasn't been brought up yet. I think because I'm barely touching the surface of Noah and AJ reuniting. They've honestly hardly interacted. I'm excited to get to that part where I feel like it's really going to dig deeper. Right now, I don't know. Right now, it's still a lot of just plot and kind of like, oh, this is happening and this is happening. I'm excited for them to actually sit down and like talk to each other and for like the second chance of it all to happen. So we'll see if that happens soon. I have a feeling that there's going to be another time jump because technically the book starts in 2013. There's like a chapter in 2013 and then it goes back to 2000. So I have a feeling there's going to be another time jump and we're going to figure out like what is happening. I'm going to keep reading. Like I said, my goal now, obviously I'm going to try to read as much as I can tonight. Keep reading. Well, I'm going to take a shower and like do my skincare and then I'm going to keep reading. But there's a very good chance that I end up finishing it tomorrow. Ideally tomorrow before I have to go into work, but we'll see. If I have to finish when I get back, that is okay. But tomorrow the book is definitely getting finished. Let me go ahead and get ready for bed, even though it's still early, but let me wind down and then I feel like I can really get cozy and read this book. Good morning. I am about to head out to work. Honestly, I kind of need to leave like right now. I did update you guys earlier in the day, but of course my mic receiver died like halfway through the video. Let me go ahead and update you guys now. I have been a bit of a reading machine. I'm currently on page 297, which is really good in my opinion. I mean, I've read like 150 pages since I last updated you guys. Obviously, I'm not going to finish before going to work because like I said, I actually honestly have to leave right now. Obviously, I'm going to finish like as soon as I get back. I think I have like less than 120 pages left. We're finishing this book today. That's definitely happening. And I also just wanted to tell you guys that I am really, really enjoying this book. Honestly, in that clip that I filmed earlier today that didn't work out, I was kind of realizing how much I liked it. I did go into a bit of a whole spiel about like, oh, because it says it's a love story on the cover, like does that make it different from like a regular romance? Is that how it's like appealing to literary fiction readers? Anyway, I actually am immediately going off on a tangent that I honestly don't have time for. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job explaining the plot of this book every single time I try to, just because it is kind of hard to explain this story because it spans so many years and there's so many time jumps and they're doing so many different things, and I really don't want to give out any spoilers, but it's hard to like kind of figure out what is a spoiler and what isn't, because this is such a slow burn that in a way like nothing is happening. Like things are definitely happening. A lot of things are happening, especially between the two main characters, and it definitely is their romance that is like the intrigue of the plot. Even if I do explain the plot, like I really won't give much away, because you know, since it is the intrigue of the couple that is really pushing the story along, that is that's where the juice is. That's where the spoilers are. I just really wanted to jump on really quickly just to say that I am really enjoying this book, and we're going to finish this when I get back. I also am going to keep listening to it. In that clip, I mentioned that I need to start getting ready and like have breakfast and stuff. So I was going to listen to the audiobook on Spotify, and I've started doing that. That's honestly just while I have to be like on the go. I have every intention to come back and like read it with my eyeballs. But like as I'm walking to work, I'm going to continue listening to the book. So I'll even be a little bit further when I get back today. And I do just want to say, I'm very sad that I have to go to work right now. I really, really want to finish this book, like so badly. I want to finish this book so badly, but I can't right now. I can't. I have to go. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Hello, everyone. I'm back from work now, and I have been a reading machine. We're almost done with this book. I honestly can't believe it. I'm currently on page 338, so like serious progress has been made. Also, if you've seen that I've had a dog-eared page, it's because I have, because I personally don't care about dog-earing pages. But also, look at the state of this bookmark. My cat did this. He just wants to chew on everything that is paper, but I put it in here for your sake. Okay, maybe I felt a little bad dog-earing the pages, but that's just, I think it's because I let everyone else's perception of dog-earing pages get to me. Anyway, lots and lots and lots of reading has gone done. Like, I'm very, very proud of this. This is not normal for me. And I think it's time that we finally actually talk about how I'm feeling about this book. I feel like I have not really spoken about it. And like, if I have, it's just like been very jumbled, very all over the place. I think I'm struggling to talk about this book. I mean, also, I feel like I've been put in weird situations where I'm like, I gotta go to work, or like, I've been at the park all day. Now, I think we can sit down, we can talk about my feelings about this book. I've also written down some thoughts as well, so hopefully that'll keep me on track. But yes, I am really enjoying it, and I feel really attached to the characters, honestly. I haven't cried necessarily because of the characters, but I have cried because of something that happened to one of like the side characters. But it's because I'm so attached to the main characters that I feel like I cried because of the side character, if that makes sense. I am definitely still worried what people actually are crying about, because I don't think it's what I necessarily teared up over. I am very worried that something is going to happen. Another thing, I know I mentioned earlier that I kind of had this whole thing about this book being like a love story and maybe not necessarily a romance. Of course, I don't know if that's true. I don't know exactly how this book was marketed, but that is how I see it. I feel like this book is being marketed towards like literary fiction people, or just like general fiction people, but it is definitely a romance book. Like, it is, the romance is kind of the main intrigue of the story. So that's why it's like a love story, and it's not like in the romance section necessarily. At least I don't think so. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not. But because of that, I wonder if Emma Brody has to follow like the main structure of a romance. Like, does she have to follow the rules of a romance? Like, does this book have to have a happy ending? Basically, I'm very worried that it is going to be, I don't know, this might be kind of a niche reference, but Korean movies do this a lot, where basically everything seems fine and then the ending is like so unbelievably sad. The movie that comes to mind is 20th Century Girl, which is a newer movie. I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. It's very well done, but the ending is so sad, and like for no reason, like no reason at all. You were just like sobbing at the end of it. At least I was. I'm really worried that something like that is going to happen in this book, and I don't know how to feel about that. I'm hoping that it has a happy ending. I don't want to like give it away, but I feel like you'd be able to tell on my reaction. I mean, not necessarily, because I would cry over a happy ending too, but maybe I won't cry at all. That's also another possibility. Like, maybe I won't cry over this book, because while I am really liking it, I'm kind of hovering around like a 4 or 4.5. I'm not at like a 5 yet. I'm not saying that's not impossible, but I am really enjoying it. But maybe I'm not as invested as some people. Maybe other people have been like more invested than me, and maybe that's why they cried. Like I said earlier, this book has like this, this book has like the slowest burn possible. Because even though I'm like this far into the book, I can't like even confidently say that these characters are really together yet. Like, I have trust issues with this book at this point, because there's a lot of like will they, won't they, and like a lot of the characters kind of standing in their own way. They won't be together because it's like they're the reason that they're not together. There's not necessarily outside forces stopping them from being together. It's just themselves and like their circumstances and their situations. That's kind of like why they can't be together. I do think Emma Brody is doing a good job at showing like the sacrifices that you have to make to be with someone and to like to love someone, not even just with the main characters but with the side characters as well. You can really tell that that is like something that she wants to talk about and kind of really show through this couple and through this story. And I do think that that's really romantic, because I personally think that, like, you know, like real life romance, it's not just like two hot people falling in love or whatever. It's like, you know, the sacrifices that you make for each other and the distances that you'll go to be with someone. I think that is like what true romance is, like in the real world, like, you know, outside of these like pages or and pages of any book. I will say, I don't know if this book is for everyone. I mean, there's no book that is for everyone, but I could really see someone not liking this book. I think, you know, they're definitely out there. I haven't like come across them on my internet yet, but I'm sure that I will at some point, and I know that they're there. I know they're already even talking about it. I think someone might not like it because it is such a slow burn, and they might get annoyed at like how the characters are, you know, standing in their own way and whatever. I do think it's like possible someone could think it's a little cheesy. I have a pretty low cheese tolerance. If there's someone that's like even less tolerant than me, maybe think that this book is cheesy, but they might think every book is cheesy if you have like that low of a cheesy tolerance. But yeah, I want to finish this book now. There's a festival happening that I want to go to with Adam, and the sooner I finish it, the sooner we can go. I promise to keep a camera on me the whole time as I'm finishing this book so we can see if I cry. I'm not like hoping to cry, but I do think it would make better content, so we'll just have to see. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have finished this book. I mean, I don't know, I'm saying I can't believe it because that was like literally my only intention was to finish this book. But it has indeed happened, which is so exciting. I mean, I don't even know the last time that I finished a book like this quickly, especially a book this long, which is even longer than I thought it was. I feel like this morning when I said like how many pages I had left, I thought that there was 409 pages. There was more like 420, 430. I don't know. That's not a short book. I don't know if you saw. Hopefully you could see it. But I definitely did shed a tear or two. Like, well, I never had a tear that like went down my cheek or anything like that, but tears definitely formed in my eyes multiple times. There were a few different moments where I was thinking, I could probably cry right now. I really enjoyed this book. I really, really, really did. I thought it was very well done. I think this is great for people that are looking for a romance that doesn't necessarily feel so surface level, which I do feel like sometimes can happen in contemporary romances. Their romance felt very deep. I don't know. That seems like such, like, I don't know, that seems like a weird thing to say. It was just a very beautiful love story, which I also hate saying because remember I have a very low cheese tolerance, and that does sound pretty cheesy to say. I'm so happy that I chose to read this book. I still don't know if it's like a 5-star just because like I don't feel it, you know, like I don't have that 5-star feeling, but it's like a 4.5, 4.25. I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I also think I would reread it too, which is always something that I try to consider. Like if I want to reread a book, I feel like that means that I like it. I can't wait for more people to pick this up, and I can't wait to hear what people have to say about this book and these characters and this story. You know, whether or not they liked it or not, I just really would love to know what people think. Can't believe I finished this in like a little over a day. It's definitely been more than 24 hours, but like pretty close to a day. I would love to try this experiment reading like something on my Kindle. I don't know, I think that would be interesting. And also, as much as I loved going to the park and I had a really, really great time and it looked great, I think it's like a little distracting because I feel like, you know, when you're at the park, you know, it's like there are moments where I was like, oh, it's too hot, I have to move, oh, it's too sunny, which I did end up getting a sunburn, by the way. Moments like that I feel like distracted me and made me read a little bit slower, and especially at the beginning of a book where I feel like I'm already reading slower because I'm getting into the story, I'm gonna read way faster like at the end. So yeah, I think next time let's try a different reading format and maybe like a different setting, maybe a cafe, maybe I go to the park later in the book, you know, when I'm already invested. I'm sorry if you're hearing any extra noises. My mic receiver still is like not working. It's like not charging, so we'll have to see what happens there. And I specifically like to do the little mic because I live in a kind of loud apartment. I don't know why I'm still holding this up. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I have successfully finished Into the Blue by Emma Brodie in about a day, just a little over a day. I'm so happy to have picked it up. I really, really liked it. Yeah, maybe I'll try to write like a longer, more detailed review when I've processed everything, and I'll put it like on Goodreads or something, or I don't know. I'm sure there's somewhere you can find it. Maybe Instagram. Maybe I'll put it on Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you guys a little bit later, and let me know if you have any ideas for another one of these. I really like these. I think this is a great way for me to get through my TBR, is to like make myself read a book really quickly. Yeah, if there's any other books you want me to read, any other ideas for videos like this, I would love to know. Okay, all right, bye.